Hello guys, I welcome you all again to my channel where we discuss immigration, we discuss travel, postgraduate abroad, scholarships, interview tips, and different immigration policies of different countries as they change, and how you can actually migrate abroad, the cheapest way, and different opportunities that come across. We are discussing just about universities in Canada, stroke US and UK. I'll be looking at this in under different section. A lot of people ask questions about if they should rather school in US or UK or Canada. So this video is for that person who is at the crossroad, and we'll be looking at the differences, the opportunities in each of these countries. Basically, in terms of quality, that's the first subheading. Universities in US, basically are most rated. You talk of the MIT of this world, you talk of the for sciences and engineering, you talk of John Hopkins in the US, you talk of this Harvard, so in terms of quality, you would want to give it to the US and the UK of the world. You talk of Oxford, you talk of Cambridge, so these are, so Canada would come third when you look at in terms of quality and how they are rated. So the other one we'll talk about is opportunity. Opportunity basically. There are opportunities more in the US because we have a lot of companies. It's very big. You have the Google, you have the Microsoft, you have Siemens, you have big companies, so there are a lot of post-graduation opportunities in the US. In terms of research, if you are the type that is really research inclined, you can actually get a lot of opportunities in the US. In the UK, post-graduation. In Canada, you would also find your way, and you find your way also. In the UK, just like that, recently they've actually introduced post-graduation visa, but it is also still dependent in all this. It is dependent on you getting a job, and that's why I tell people you have to actually be sure that you are doing a good course. You are doing a course that would actually get you a job, and while in school, you want to really choose your course well. So in terms of tuition, so among these three universities, these three countries, UK, you can actually get a lot of cheap schools in the UK. It's cheaper compared to Canada, compared to US. And sometimes some universities in Canada can also be cheap. But the beautiful thing among these three countries is that I'll give it to Canada, because in Canada you can actually get a lot of scholarships, regardless of your degree, the class of degree you actually graduated with your third class, your second class upper, your second class lower, and maybe your first class. You can actually get scholarship. majorly, I have talked about this extensively in my previous video. What you need to get scholarship in the US and in Canada are actually your BSc, regardless of class of degree, a good statement of account, that's SOP, that's statement of purpose. You want to be able to write to convince those who will review your scholarship application. You need referee, so these are what you basically need, not basically your class of degree, so these are what you need. So why I will rate Canada is that there are a lot of scholarships in Canada compared to the UK. The UK is also have a low tuition when you compare to US. Among the three of them, the US is actually the most costly one. But in that US, you can also get a lot of scholarship and a lot of graduate assistantship, different funding routes that you can actually get in the US and Canada, unlike that of UK. But you will see that now a lot of people choose the UK because the admission is very straightforward, easy, and relatively also cheaper than the US. So, and very easy and straightforward, the admission process. And so that's why a lot of people still go for the UK. But the US, the Canada, you can get a lot of funding opportunities, Another one is GRE and all these IELTS. For UK, you may not necessarily write IELTS. It's not compulsory in most of the schools. There are ways you can actually go about it. The UK NARIC, most university in the US would actually ask for it. So the admission process is also tedious for US. Canada mostly will not. UK will not. And that's why you will see that many people will want to go for the UK and Canada. The GRE is mostly asked for in universities in the US. So this is another difference. So another thing is getting into the universities in US is actually tougher compared to UK and Canada. Among all of them, the UK university are the easiest one to actually gain admission. You have your tuition, you want to apply, you can actually, sometimes I hear people pay exorbitant amounts to agents just to apply to UK universities. So I feel like, no, it's something you can actually do on your phone, but that's so the UK university is very easy to gain admission in. It's not that hard. Another one, very important one, is that for US, you can actually transit from your BSc to PhD. You do not really need, in fact, I have seen somebody who from HND to PhD on scholarships, on different scholarships. So you can actually, move from HND or BSc to PhD in the US very easy. So it's not compulsory for you to actually write to do your master's in US. But in Canada, for you to do a PhD, so these are some of the differences. For you to do a PhD, you must do MSc, and for UK, for you to do a PhD, you must do your MSc. And this is how it works. So, but for US, you can, from your BSc, enter into a PhD program, or from your HND. I have talked about this in my previous video, that even if you have your HND, all you need to do is to do your WES evaluation. When you do your WES evaluation, you will be good. And that's how it works. For work, work, transitioning from students to work visa or work permit in Canada is the most easiest of the three countries. So then, so it's actually very easy for you get your permanent residency. In fact, within 5 years of your studentship and all that, you can actually become a citizen in Canada. While for the US, it takes a long time. You first get your H1B, 1 year. You now look for job, and it takes a lot of time in the US compared to Canada. Canada is very easy. The UK is also a bit competitive, but I think it's easy for UK as well. It's a 10-year route as well from students and all that. So that's how it works in the UK. So for you to actually transition. So among the three of them, Canada is still the easy, has the most easy part to transitioning. So tax. So the tax in Canada is more than the US. The tax in UK is more than Canada. Tax. So so this is how it works. So tax in Canada more. But the beautiful thing here is that the health system in Canada is also free, just like the UK. So but in US you pay for your insurance, your health insurance. So that is the difference. So the money, the tax that is being collected in UK, in Canada, are used for social investment. You use it for your health care, basically, your school and all that. So in US, the tax is low, but you are majorly responsible for your health. So you have to have a good health insurance in the US. But in the UK, in as much as you come in, you pay your health insurance, you do as a student, like that. If you are working, you do not need to pay those things. So you are eligible to use you and your family are actually eligible to use the health facility in the UK and in Canada for free. So you do surgery, you do any medication, all these things, they are free. So that's how it works. So these are some of the differences in these countries. So if you are at that point that you're thinking, is it Canada, is it US? Another major point is that Canada is freezing. It is among the three of them. Canada can go as low as minus 40 degrees in some parts. The UK is not as cold as Canada. In US, you can actually get places in the US that are like Lagos. Talk of the Austin, California. These places are not too different from Nigerian weather, and that's the difference. So these are the little comparison, the differences and opportunities in these countries. Do well to comment, like, and share the video. Somebody on your timeline might actually need the information in this video. Thank you, and I see you in my next video.